so what was your experience when you were in the classical military? Let's put it that way. What did you see that you liked? What did you see that you didn't like so much?
Well, first of all, that life is very, very difficult. And, I think there's this misnomer out there that living and working in special operations is very difficult. I would agree to some aspects, the assessment and selection for all the services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, all the special operations assessment selection. It's physically difficult. It's mentally difficult. But the value of spending time in the conventional military is so much of what happens in big Navy, in my case, is so much more difficult to get things done than in special operations. When you have a small niche group with, I'll just call it top cover, senior top cover,
which is a topic we need to deep dive on, because most project teams don't have top cover. And that's where I think we can learn a lot from the military.
It's super important. And remind me, we'll come back to commander's intent and all that. But having the experience, seeing how hard it was to get things done in the big Navy, I think it served me well.
Yeah. Okay. So you applied how many times before they took you?
6.
Good for you.
Every 6 months.
A lot of people say, "Oh, wow, I can't believe it took you that long," But I think that's hats off to you that you were tenacious. So I think that probably didn't pass them by either. So 6th time you get the okay. What was your immediate reaction? Were you excited?
Yeah, I was excited, but I was nervous because I had been promoted twice at that point. And so I was a full lieutenant in 03, like an Army captain, going to BUD/S as an older guy. And I mean, not old, but I was definitely not.
No, I know what you're talking about.
In
the military, that's
freshly, I had not just been commissioned. And it was made crystal clear to me the day I came across the quarterdeck at BUD/S that we don't want lieutenants as new guys in the SEAL teams. We want lieutenants to already have 1, 2, or 3 platoons under their belt and be platoon OICs, or officers in charge. So out of the gate, I was behind the power curve. I was the class officer for class 213.
Okay.
So you can see 186 is where I had the orders, and 213 is where I finally got to go to BUD/S. So there's a long time there. But I
think, this is the funny thing. If you look at corporate structures, everybody's always focused on white collar jobs and, getting the big power names. And if you look at the military, there's lots of value and honor in being enlisted or being an NCO. I totally value those positions. But if you come from a military background, then you kind of have this drive towards becoming an officer. And if I can think of all my friends who went to the military, they all were focused on how far can we get ahead. But I would almost say that in a special ops, I think very few people understand it. If you look at the big names that are out there, that we know. I wrote down some of the ones I could remember. Don Shipley, Jesse Ventura was a Navy SEAL, right? Joko Willink, which I love to listen to. He's got some interesting. I think David Goggins, Marcus Luttrell, Sean Ryan, Andy Stump. The only one that I could find on the list, but I have heard a lot from him lately, is Leif Babin.
Leif Babin.
Leif is the only one who's actually an officer of those, which gives you an indication. If you look at the lore and the kind of the mystique that's around Navy SEALs, most of them are around NCOs, right? So you rarely hear about an officer in a SEAL setting.
Yeah, and Jocko was an officer too. And
I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, because he was prior enlisted.
Okay.
So Jocko and I were at Team 2 together, but once he got commissioned, the Navy switched coasts and pushed him out to the East Coast.
Yeah. I don't know him, but what I've seen a lot of footage on him. He strikes me as one of those guys that I guess, does the Navy have a similar program like OCS?
Yes. Yeah. Commissioning
Officers
program.
Candidate School.
Couple different commissioning programs.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what he did. Yeah. Yeah. That's
so
what he
you had a hard time getting in. Then they told you right off the bat, we don't want you. I always love that, right? But they made you head of your
in
class.
fairness, they tell everyone that.
Yeah. So